This is Ashley Lewis with Every Moment Matters. Be sure to check out my Facebook page for all your customized decor and clothing.
This is Tabor here with TJ Krages on Sunday Essentials. Today we're going to talk about iron, sharpening iron, and the kind of basis behind that is we're going to talk about Proverbs 27:17. Just to hit the basis, and it says, "Iron sharpens iron, so as one man sharpens another." And where I want to go with this today is talk about being mentored, mentoring others. How does that look? How does that feel? For me, it's easy because I know I have people that I go to for life, people that I go to for work, and I know I have people that I go to for coaching or social things that have all that different interaction. So what are some things that you can recall, specific moments maybe that mentored you, that got you where you are now?
Specific moments? I don't know if I know any moments. I know a lot of people. Like obviously my dad, he mentored me a lot. Like with just life, working hard. Teach me to cut the grass, teaching me to
How to be a man.
How to be a man, yeah. And then people like Josh Green, who are teaching me about the Bible, who are teaching me how to walk a spiritual life, how to be a family, how to take care of my wife, my kids, those things. And then also people at work that teach me how to do my job well, teach me that how to work hard again, as my dad taught me. Then I got friends obviously that have taught me a lot.
Yeah, I would definitely have to say Josh Green, clearly one of them guys for me. But I like to pinpoint mine into a couple different moments. Mine for sure, I was 13 years old. I had just went through everything I went through. I was in the 8th grade, Coach Hicks. I had this little moment to where I got kicked out of Fairdale. I wasn't there for about 2 weeks. I was put in this OLOT program because really my mom didn't know what to do. And I just remember him pulling me to the side, talking to me, like, dude, you're going to be huge for this program, or, you're going to be a part of this program, type of thing. So, I need you to clean it up. And we have this big, long talk. And then again, a guy like Josh Green, I can remember you bringing me around. Again, he gets me to the side. And I just know being mentored means so much. So I know, especially in my coach's role, where you have Jaden and you have guys that you're around a lot, we have to mentor them. We have to be able to point them in the direction that we know they need to go. Because, I know it's funny for me, and I think you kind of get glimpses of that with Jaden, that when I'm around these kids, I see them doing all that same stupid stuff I did, seeing them do all the loud mouth, running their mouth, not being respectful. And it's the same stuff I did, but if we're people that just sit back, they'll never learn. They'll never know tough love. They'll never know that somebody's supposed to correct them.
Does when you see those kids acting the way you acted, does it make you understand why people got on you the way they did?
Man, so much do I understand. Like for instance, I give a best example. It was just Friday, and this kid, know him very well. And, he's going to get into it. I kind of snatch him up. And I'm like, stop. Like, what are you doing? No, F this, F that. And I'm just like, and I just kind of chuckled. What's funny? Ain't nothing funny. And I'm just like, dude, I'm you. Like, I don't know what to say. And honestly, man, that's what makes me so good at what I do. And I say that a lot. I love what I do, and I'm good at it. But I'm good at it because of the things that we've went through and the things that I've been through and the things that I've, went against. And so... And I know me and you butted heads, so this is going to kind of go into the next point of iron sharpening iron is almost like butting heads. You have to butt heads with somebody or rub against them to create friction to be better or to better yourself in that essence. So who would you say that you butt heads with the most that sharpens you to be at another level?
Who have I butted heads with? That's tough. I don't know if I have a personality of button heads.
Okay, so not necessarily button heads, but someone that that when adversity or something goes on that that they're going to sharpen you and make you change your way of thinking, or see a different point of view.
Yeah, mine is definitely probably Josh Green. Just because, I guess that's why I say it's not so much button heads, because I think it's just so much, I respect him so much,
right.
I know that no matter what, if I'm acting a certain way, the first time when I was in a relationship, when I was married, there was a point in my relationship where I was thinking about, you know, it ending. It was obviously getting tough, and it was gonna end. And he's the first one I called. It was like, you know, this is hard. It's adversity. He's going through a lot, and he's the one that you know, in a moment, in 5 minutes, having a conversation with me, he sharpened me. He made me realize. He made me think a different way. That's what it is. It's respect, and I just respect his opinion, what he says. I know he's always gonna think what's right, what's best for me. He's always gonna tell me the truth, no matter what. He's never gonna sugarcoat it. And maybe that's what you mean by butting heads. Is you know that there's a person you're gonna go to that no matter what, they're gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah.
They're not gonna.
100%.
They're not a yes man. You know, you got friends out here that are yes men that'll no matter what. Yeah, do that. Yeah, do that. And that's never gonna make you any better. It's never gonna sharpen you. Like even with me and you, like you're gonna tell me exactly what you think about me and what I'm doing is wrong, and I'm gonna do the same thing to you. But I think we've grown and become better because of it. You know, so Josh Green is definitely the biggest one for me that I've listened to.
Well, I'm gonna actually challenge you because I know this is kind of on the spot, but I challenge you to be the mentor now. And I know we're going to walk away from this, and I hope next week when we come back, we're going to do a little mini session before, and we're going to talk about who did you grab up in a week. It can be anybody. It could be my cousins. It can be whoever. But I want you in a week to take what you've learned, and then this hits with the next point is, God, we have to lead them up. We've talked about people mentoring us. Well, I seen a quote the other day, and it said, what you've learned is not for you to keep. What you've learned is for you to share. And it's hashtag lead them up. It's an awesome Twitter account. I recommend y'all go follow that. And it just constantly talks about what are you doing to help others. It's not about me. It's about others, you know, constantly. So, and I know I can think of, you know, it's easy for me, I guess, coaching moments of, man, like I have to share my knowledge. But to me, if you don't build that relationship, you can't. You cannot.
Can't.
Because I know there's kids I deal with on a daily basis, especially, and I'll use school and being an in-school security guy more. But my first 6 months there, so I can think of January 15th being hired to the end of the school year, I made them follow the rules, but I didn't have to be pinpoint and give them that talks. And now we're rolling into the new year, and they got a feel for me, and they understand look, when I say something, just do it. You can turn the corner and you can call me an MFer or whatever you got to do, but just do what I ask you to do because I'm not going to harp on you.
Yeah.
And that's helped dramatically on just understanding that we can't pick at people. And when you pick at them, then the friction's gone, then we can't help them.
Yeah.
So what would you say would be a good trait because I would say background to this, guys, TJ's more of a quiet, reserved. Until you get to know him, he's not gonna be that outspoken, say something. So what would you say? Yeah. Well, until you build that relationship, you're not going to just step out of your zone.
Yeah.
So what would be something you recommend to people that has a quiet personality or that kind of just sits back until they get to know people and opens up? So what is something that you would tell others that they could do?
I definitely, for me, I think, especially like the last 2 years, mine is just be uncomfortable. Like, I'm not, like you said, I'm not outspoken. I'm not one to just go out here and find some random person and try to become a mentor to them. But I've just learned that in a situation where maybe somebody asked me to speak, like Brian used to ask me to speak at FCA, and I know they're never going to happen. Scared to death of it. And now I think if he was to ask me, which I would definitely be open to it, or any situation where like maybe somebody wanted me to talk to their son or something, I would do it because I'm just gonna sit in that uncomfortable situation, you know.
Yeah.
Take that uncomfort and just go through it because with that uncomfort, you'll make it through it. You'll thrive. That's the only way that you're gonna be uncomfortable in those situations. So you got to do it. And then also for me, just back to your building relationships with a person that's shy or quiet. That's the way that you get out of that shyness. Is you have to build a relationship. Like with you, when me and you first met, I was probably shy with you. Or anyway, Josh Green, anybody that you come in contact with, I'm shy around them. But once I build that relationship, I'm gonna be myself, and then we're gonna have deep conversations. You're gonna be able to approach me in that way, you know.
Well,
So,
that brings me to think about is, we kind of talked about it a couple of weeks, and we was talking with Ashley, and was talking about the whole breakup, divorce, get back together, those type of things, and then you had mentioned it wasn't but maybe 6 months ago me and you had a deep conversation on the way to getting food that you finally was able to realize like, oh, that we can have those deep conversations. And I think that's what's so awesome about being mentored and mentoring others is that me and you have been friends for 12, 13 years, and then a new side of the relationship happens. And that's what happens when you keep in contact with people and you want to continue to grow and you want to continue. That eventually conversation eventually comes up, and eventually you're either mature enough to handle it or eventually you're not.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that's the biggest thing. Going into just really anything, I think you have to build a relationship. I mean, anything, because then that's going to build your trust. That's going to be how they know, are you there for them? What's the minimum they can trust you? What's the maximum they can trust you? You do have people that, if you want everybody to know, tell them. They're going to let everybody know that they know. And then they're going to let everybody know they know. Yeah. But some people, you can tell them anything, and it's going to be like a vault in Fortnite. So to hit, I don't believe, to me, that mentors are people that are above us or below us. So if I'm being mentored, it doesn't have to be some big name, somebody that's way above me. Or if I'm mentoring someone, it doesn't have to be somebody that's below me, or that I feel that is below me. It can be someone as two friends or co-workers or anybody that y'all just give that opinion, that you sharpen each other, and you kind of, like you said, not necessarily button heads, we'll say friction. That friction that causes you to think differently, that stirs you up differently, that makes you feel, okay, well, maybe what is he talking about? Like, maybe let's see this side, or let me look at it from a different point of view.
I definitely don't think it has to be somebody above you. I think in certain situations, like maybe you want a job in the stock market. Well, going into the stock market, there's going to be people above you that have to mentor you. So in that way, it has to be somebody that's kind of above you that knows what they're doing. Yeah. But in terms of like everyday life, like me and you can sharpen each other, and we can make each other smarter, make each other make better decisions. But I think in order for that to happen, there has to be a level of respect. Like, you have to respect my opinion, I have to respect yours, and because if not, I'm not going to take it. You can tell me the same thing every day. If I don't respect your opinion, I'm just going to blow it off. So
not even that, we have to see what's wrong in us or what we're doing for us to correct that problem.
Yeah. So I think it doesn't have to be somebody above us. It can be. In a certain situation, it does have to be. But
if you want to be a coach, you should clearly seek out a coach. Or if you want to be whatever, work at Ford, you need somebody that works at Ford, things of that nature. And we're going to end on this, and I think we'll be able to stay here for a while, that it's a life necessity to have people mentor you and for you to mentor others, because without that, this next generation is going to be lost. And I think that's where we're starting to see this disconnect, is that the generation behind us hasn't been, and we actually are that generation, but that our generation hasn't been led up. They haven't cared enough to seek those older generations to find out. Like, I can think of Larry Stivers, and I know you'll kind of to go along with this. Man, I can remember just being around him and like feeling his energy, and like he's always upbeat. And then he has this awesome story of like worked at Chevron for 30-something years and bought all this stock, and now he does all these good things. And he was just so awesome to us. Like, he was the first one to come to us. Like, hey, man, you want to, we got a 60-year-old Larry out here wanting to play ping pong with us. And, somebody didn't even care about it, but he comes to love us. But because he knew he has to lead us up.
Yeah. I agree, is you have to mentor people. Like, I think, like right now there's a view of, especially among older people, that how they say, that's the millennials, or that's that younger generation. That's what they do. Like, it's almost in a way of they're looking down upon us, like we're doing things wrong. And I think,
well, we learned it from somewhere,
right? And I think that has to be credited a little bit to them, because they're not mentoring us the way they should.
Maybe not even mentoring. They didn't point us in that right direction of, hey, this ain't the right way. This ain't how you walk that straight path.
Yeah, but I think it's their fault for not mentoring us, but it's our fault for not seeking the mentorship. I mean, it's not just their responsibility to do it. If if they're trying to give it to us and we don't want it, then there's nothing they can do about it. But that's definitely how life continues. Is you have to, like my son, if I don't teach him nothing, he's gonna grow up to be, you know, a bad kid, and then in turn he's gonna be, you know, not a productive adult in society, and then you know, it's just gonna go downhill. And then if every person did that, it's gonna be everybody's gonna be the same way.
For sure, and I'm here to say, you know, going back on being mentored and mentoring others, it takes a village, man. Like I can think back to just right now, if I was to consider, let's say 12 years old, if I'm 12-year-old Tabor, I'm just going to give you a list of everybody that was in my life that had the influence on. So you got Boo's mom and dad, Brian and Carolyn. Then you got your mom and dad who I met. And then, you know, clearly Uncle Tim passes away. But, you know, so your mom, Trevor Childress's parents, Josh Payne's parents, you know, all these different people that I've been around. And it took a village to do it. Mm-hmm. If you'd have told them 12 years ago I'd be where I'm at now, they'd kind of look at you and laugh. Same thing with you. You had that same village. So I tell this, or I say all that to get into, you need your village. You know, clearly I had my uncle, my mom, my aunt, but you know, those are guys that love me and, you know, no matter what. But you need to surround yourself with people that's going to push you in the direction you need to go. Because like I said, if you don't have that village, it's real easy to kind of go sideways. It's easy to go, you know, to the left. And when you have those people just constantly in your ear, like, come on, man, we raised you better than that. Or, you know, it means more, I guess, where I'm going with this is it means more whenever outside of family somebody says something to you. So whenever somebody gives you that compliment or somebody says, hey, man, you're going in this right direction. Like the last time I talked to one of my former teachers at Fairdale, last thing she went, I'm so proud of you. Well, clearly my parents tell me they're proud of me, but like that meant something to me because it's like, well, you're my parents. You're supposed to tell me you're proud of me.
It's almost like a relationship where the girl or your boyfriend tell you you're pretty all the time. Yeah. But then somebody outside of it says you're pretty, you're like, oh, I might really be pretty. Yeah. Because it's an outside person telling you it's the same scenario, and it does take a village. I have a lot of people in my life outside of family, blood, that I've connected with, that I've spent time with, that I have a lot of memories with, and that means a lot. That has shaped my life. That has made me who I am. Like you said, Brian, Val's, Boo's dad, and obviously Carolyn is they're family to me, even though we're not really blood related. But like so many nights of playing basketball and jailbreak and you know, having dinners with them and just spending time with them, like them people like have shaped me. They've sharpened me. They've grew me in a lot of ways, you know. And there's a lot of people like that in my life. So
for sure. So again, guys, being mentored, I challenge y'all, we're going to leave it on this. I challenge you all to find somebody in this next week and connect, however that connection is. Because at some point, we got to go below ourselves or seek outside of our comfort zones like TJ was kind of talking about.
Try not to let it be an easy person. Like my son, that's an easy mentorship for me because I have to do it, or because, you know, that's my son. He's there all the time. Do it. Try to find somebody out of the norm. Try to find somebody maybe that's already in your life, but that you don't reach out to a lot. Like, you know, mentor somebody that you're gonna have impact on that you wouldn't have had the impact on already. Like, you know, find somebody that don't have that village. You know, find somebody that only has 3 people in their life that's helping them, and mentor that person, because that's gonna, for one, it's gonna make you feel good. For two, it's gonna change their life in so many ways that you might not even see.
We never know
10 years down the road, they might tell you how much you did. You know, so don't mentor somebody that this is easy. This is there. You know?
So first challenge, I challenge y'all to go mentor somebody. Find somebody that you, like he said, you normally wouldn't. And the second thing is, I want y'all to find your dull points on your sword, and I want you to work on them, and I want you to sharpen those, because we can't be better as people if we don't sharpen our weaknesses. Yeah, it's cool to have all these strengths, but if you're not growing your weaknesses, you're never going to grow.
And that's hard to do. You know, you have to
really call yourself out, self-check.
Yeah, it's a self-check. Look in the mirror. It's a stop going through life. You know, don't go through the motions. That's a gut check. That's hard to do for a lot of people, because you have to really figure out what your flaws are. You know, and that's something I'm working on and trying to figure out how I need to be better, especially, you know, for my son and people that I'm not necessarily mentoring now, or maybe that I want to, or that, you know, I want to reach out to people, but, you know, I'm working on myself too. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I say, guys, mentor, be mentored, and do not keep knowledge to yourself. This is Tabor Klinglesmith on Sunday Essentials with TJ Krages. We'll see y'all next week.